Hey guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gimp with a Limp, and I'm here with something that is it's bittersweet. I gotta say, I'm definitely happy to do this video, but I'm sad at the same time. This will be my last one on Assault Red Horizon for a little while until some newer stuff comes in, because I've got that prototype in now, and I've got to jump on that here relatively quickly. But you know, it's from David Thompson. Really awesome. Make sure you guys check that out. It'll be coming up here soon. But I did want to give like a final thoughts, final words on Assault here, because it has just been a treat. It's been a real gem to have here on my table. Before we get into the rest of it, I did want to show you guys some of the extra units that are in the game that you haven't seen yet. You've seen the ones that I've had in this little short playthrough we've been doing, but just to give you an idea of all the stuff that's involved. We've got mortars, and these are Soviet. You can tell by the star in the upper right. When we get to the cross in the upper left, we'll be into the Germans. But we got mortars, anti-tank rifles, light machine guns, and these guys are camouflaged. Heavy rifles, they have tough. I think that makes them a little more resistant. Yeah, they ignore 1 point of damage. That's good stuff. Just some generic rifles. Anti-tank gun, love that. Bigger anti-tank gun, another anti-tank gun. Let's see, 76 Regimental and 76 ATG. This gets low silhouette and slow, and this one just gets slowed. Is there... Ooh, this one actually does a little better. It has better range, I think. Close. It depends on what it's firing at. This one actually is better, it looks like, at infantry targets, and this one looks like it might be a little better at armored targets. But anyway, AA weapon, that's really cool. T26 Kv-1, gotta love the KVs. Look at that armor. And of course, this damn thing's error prone. T34, BA-10, so an armored car. Ooh, maneuverable. What does maneuverable do? This unit does not require movement points to change facing. Ooh, that is cool. That is really good. And KV-2, gotta love it. Gotta love it. Although, I hate that it has the tall special ability, because for some reason I keep forgetting about tall. Truck, unarmored transport, so just basic truck. BT-7, a T-60, and here we're getting into some of the German units. Anti-tank rifles, 75 mil infantry gun, the motorized rifles, so they have like an inherent truck. See, fast disembark. I wonder if they get that same thing that the cavalry did. After disembarking from transport, this unit is not marked with a fast action. It can conduct normal fast movement, move, and fire action. Oh, cool. So they're basically very maneuverable. Grenadiers, a recon team, 37 mil anti-tank gun. Ooh, the 88. The 88. You gotta love the 88, man. That thing's a beast. Look at that. Look at all the dice it throws, man. Even at 13 hexes away, it's still throwing a couple of reds. That thing's just a beast. 20 mil flak. That would definitely tear up some stuff. Scout car. And truck is upside down. Just a regular transport truck. Panzer III, Panzer Jaeger, ooh, interesting, but no turret. The Bison, no turret, and it's tall. Armor, or half-track, and the Stug. Gotta love the Stug. Stug's just good stuff. And the Panzer IIF. We need the Panzer IIJ, man. That thing is indestructible from World of Tanks. Check it out if you never played it. So yeah, I just want to kind of eyeball some of the units real quick, let you guys see what all else comes in the game. And really, I don't have a whole lot of bad to say about this. The game overall is really nice. I like what they were going for here. They tried some new stuff. I mean, sure, there were a couple of little minor things that I could pick on, like the color choice from the attack die removal. I was having to kind of dig to find things that I didn't like. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that the game's perfect, right? You know, there are a few drawbacks, like the fact that you can't just look at the board. You do have to pay attention off the board to the cards to make sure you're keeping track of the special rules. But in a way, it almost makes the board look cleaner, especially the counters, because you don't have them covered with a whole bunch of numbers and letters and representations. You can just kind of focus on the battle that's going on here and just keep track of their stats off board. And, you know, I can't even ding them for this. You know, I was going to say, you know, it's a little fiddly having the damage counters, but that's one of the aspects that I really liked about the game, is the fact of, instead of just having the general take a hit, flip, take another hit, dead, which you usually have with tactical games that are represented by counters, we actually had damage values for our different units, and some could take up to 4 hits, while some could only take 2 if it was a smaller unit like a machine gun team versus a full infantry squad, which makes sense. The full infantry squad would have more people, and they could take more damage than a smaller machine gun team. And for me, I always love custom dice, and I love it when things are color-coded because it makes things easy for me to keep track of. The dice being not just color-coded, but custom at the same time. So while, yes, it is a D6, they're doing something different. They've got hits, crits, and suppression, and then misses on here. And red being the most powerful, blue being the least powerful. It made it easy when you're looking at these cards to understand exactly what the stats means. You don't have to constantly refer to the rule book. You can glance at the card, get all the information you need, and on the off chance you flip the back, check for any special rules that they have. One of the biggest aspects that I really liked about it was the way the end turn worked, where anything with a white back gets removed, anything with the yellow backing gets flipped, so you know it's going to stick around and it's going to have an effect for that next turn. So that fast move you did this turn is going to make you less accurate on the next turn. Really ingenious way of handling that. Gotta say, I love that. And then also the red and green ones stay on the board, so easy to keep track of there. Really, when it comes to games like this in modern day wargaming, you've got a lot of choices. There are plenty of choices out there on different games that you can get, and this one I definitely have to put is a recommend, a one you want to get to the table. It is worth the investment for the difference in gameplay, and it's not as much the difference in gameplay that you're getting from the tactics. All right, it's the same types combat we've seen before: infantry and armor and artillery going back and forth at each other. It's the rest, it's the meat around that is different. The way you're interacting with the game, with the dice, with the counters, with the hits and the smoke markers, even to the way the scenarios are laid out. And that is one of my biggest faves with it, is those formation cards, that you can easily choose which formation cards you want to use, or the way I think is best, playing it randomly, where you just randomly draw which formation, and that's going to tell you which units you're going to have. That gives this game so much replayability, not to mention the fact that you can play it from both sides. So the Soviet units, they're red in the order of battle, and the Germans are blue. Well, you can switch it out and have the Soviets play on the blue side and the Germans play on the red side, and then randomly draw it. So you get just that huge amount of variety with the formation cards and the multiple ways you can play it. And I love that asymmetrical gameplay, that you can have scenarios where one side's getting maybe a few artillery formations and the other side's getting armor. So it represents the fact that one side's coming in on the attack and the other side has set themselves up as defensively as they can be. Sure, they can be outmaneuvered, but they've got the firepower. Can they hold them off? Not to mention the fact that you can easily come up with your own scenarios, which is what I do more times than not. And this gives me the ability to have that randomness if I want it in coming up with my own scenarios. I could create my own scenario, and by using those formation cards, still have it play out differently time and time again. Now, I will say it's not quite as deep as some other games. Obviously, ASL is going to blow it out of the water in complexity. But this one's not going to have you worrying about how much pressure you're putting on your guys as they step out of the building, because they might trip and fall down, which is going to give your opponent a +1 modifier because your Private Schmuckatelli's a moron. It doesn't go into that level. It's streamlined very easily in such a way that you could get the game and be playing it that evening, punch all the counters out, get everything set up, and you'll understand it. Sure, you might make a roll mistake here or there, but you could be playing the game relatively quickly from the time you get it out on the table. It's not going to take you days and days and days to learn it. I mean, with as well as they've hit the ground running here, I can only imagine what they've got planned coming up. I've talked to the designer a few different times back and forth about some ideas that he's working on. They're eyeballing some more solo features, which is going to be great in my opinion. I've given him some pointers as far as that goes. Still thinking about that and ways that can be improved, which it already does so well thanks to the command point structure. Anyway, it just plays so friggin' well. This is one that I definitely just gotta say, if you like tactical skirmish based hex and counter war games, get it. Just go ahead and get it. You will not be disappointed. It is just flat out a good game. And there's so much left for them to pursue, right? They just got the Germans and the Soviets in the early stage of the war. They have so much open they can get into. Marines, just put Wolfgang putting it out there. U.S. Marines, just, hey, if it happens, I'd be very happy. But he's a Navy man himself. He might want some squids in there, so we won't fault him for that. But yeah, I could keep talking about this for a while. The components are great. The gameplay works well. It's perfectly fine to play solitaire just as it is. If you enjoy doing that, you're going to be fine, just like I was. There's just plenty to like here, and they have plenty of plans of what they're going to be doing with the series in the future. So yeah, absolutely, definitely give her a shot. But if you guys have any questions, by all means, feel free to put them down below. I will keep you updated as much as I can on the series. Like I said, I am talking with the publisher on it and the designer, and keeping track of what they've got coming up. And I'm definitely going to be wholeheartedly covering anything that they have coming out here in the future, which will hopefully be a lot, because I love how they've hit the ground running with this. But all right, that's going to be it for me. You guys take care. I'll see you in the next one.